my channel. I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I do every day is Delta Force. So I decided to start with high settings with FSR on its quality mode to see how it runs. And surprisingly, this is not really a very demanding game despite it is using Unreal. Yes, it does compile shaders at the beginning, but I still saw some stuttering in this first match. So yeah, this was my first match of the game, so recording above of that it can penalty a little bit the performance. But yeah, performance is really cool. I know you are here for the performance, but let me talk a little bit about the game. Delta Force it is a free-to-play game that just debuted today on Steam by the time of this video, of course, and it many people say that it mix up a little bit Call of Duty to Battlefield. So you have different type of game modes, but yeah, this one is really Battlefield-ish, and it feels good, to be honest. It's surprising. I played a lot of Battlefields since Bad Company 2, Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, 5. And it's not that this game is better than any Battlefield at all, but I mean, this is a free-to-play game, and it plays really well Battlefield style. So if you show this to anyone and hide the odds, probably you can mistake some people, and they can identify this game as a Battlefield. Yeah, but yeah, let's talk back about the performance. So like I said, I'm playing with high settings FSR quality mode. If you don't enjoy FSR, you still have Intel XeSS or even the own Unreal Engine upscaler, the TSR, which offers more quality, although performance penalty is bigger. But performance is really good, honestly. It's above 60 frames per second. Probably in a multiplayer game you will try to target 120. For that I do recommend you to try median. But I'm not really sure if you are going to get a bottleneck or something because of the 3600, because I didn't really try it out. But yeah, high settings, FSR grants a very stable experience above 60. Yeah, saying stable and having very low results on the 1% lows doesn't really match. But I'm recording, this is my first match. I saw some extra stuttering because of that at the very beginning, but apart from that it was really smooth. Frame time consistency is, of course, not 100%. I mean, it's Unreal Engine. What do you expect? But in general, I mean, performance is really good. It's surprisingly good, and for a multiplayer game, it does work really well. So yeah, I'm surprised not only about the game itself, but also about how optimized it is, because this is a high settings. You can still go to median, you can still go to low settings. I haven't even tried them out, but yeah, it seems very scalable in that sense. And also VRAM, which is something that it's very problematic, of course, on the 1650 Super, since it only have 4 gigabytes of VRAM. This game doesn't consume too much, so the high settings fits inside those 4 gigabytes of VRAM buffers, but you can still try if you want ultra textures, because it's still the ultra textures of this game, it still fits inside the 4 gigabytes of VRAM, so that's very good. But yeah, I did try other settings. I did try 1080p high, I did try 1080p ultra, and I gave up after that. I wanted to try 1440p and 4K with different settings and different levels of upscaling, although unfortunately, since the latest updates of the Nvidia app, I can no longer create customizable resolution, so I'm stuck with 1080p for a while until I find an alternative for that. But I just really wanted to debut a video about the performance of this game, and I know that the majority of the people that have this GPU, certainly it isn't actually going to play at 1440p or 4K, so possibly 1080p, unless they got a new monitor or something like that. So let's move on to the eye settings, but this time around without any upscaler at all. So I'm just continuing the level. I didn't restart since I just, changed the upscaler, so I don't think I need to restart for this or exit the match. And yeah, performance, it's still pretty good. The bigger difference that I did notice though is that it can drop below 60 frames per second. Again, I'm recording and that puts an extra stress when it comes to the GPU load and VRAM load. But I mean, apart from that, it runs really well above 60. It does drop. But it's basically that. So after that, I decide to just move on to 1080p Ultra settings. There are still other settings above 1080p Ultra. Keep that in mind. So let's go to the settings. Let me show you off the Ultra settings. So 1080p Ultra settings in here. VRAM is nearly full in that sense, and I'm not using any upscaling. Unfortunately, since I decided to change the settings, I had to left the game, and when I did rejoin, I was inside a different map. So this is not really apples to apples comparisons, you know. First of all, it's a multiplayer game, so it's difficult to replicate the same behaviors or more or less the same path. So it's not possible, but having a different map, it's kind of, you know, weird stuff to benchmark. But still, I decided to go on and show you off how it does perform. And unfortunately, yes, it is possible to play. No, it is not above 60. Alright, and no, I do not recommend to play with 1080p Ultra settings, because most of the performance, it is mostly around 40 to 60 frames per second, at least on this map. I'm not really sure how does it play on the previous map with Ultra settings. It might work better, it might work worse, I honestly don't know. But for now, and as far as I have tried, I would say that the safe bet for this game is probably go with 1080p high settings. Use any upscaler form that you enjoy the most. It can be TSR, it can be Intel XeSS, it can be FSR, and enjoy a very smooth experience above 60 frames per second, sometimes even 100. Alright, so I think it's the best settings for you to go with. I mean, people are not going to play this game because of the graphics, keep that in mind. They are going to play it because it's kind of Battlefield, you know, but entirely free, and possibly with progression systems and stuff that I haven't still investigated further. But congratulations to the developers, to the publishers, because this is really a very nice start. Possibly the more I play, the more issues I will encounter, and I might change my opinion. But still, this looks a very, very solid release for a free-to-play title. And I think this also means very big issues when it comes to the EA. If EA tries to release a Battlefield at $70, how they can justify that Battlefield to go against this free-to-play game? I mean, I don't know. This game looks very Battlefield. It doesn't behave entirely like Battlefield, doesn't have a distraction and stuff like that. But I mean, when it comes to the gameplay, it does feel really good to play this game, you know. And I mean, I'm convinced basically. So if I had to play this game on a daily basis, yeah, 1080p high settings FSR quality. That's what I would go for. Not 1080p Ultra, because as you can see I'm running at 40, and not even 1080p high, because there are some sequences where it does drop below 60, and that was on the previous map. Probably this one is more demanding, or not, I don't know. But yeah, keep that in mind. It's better to play safe on a multiplayer title, alright, because it will impact the performance of the game, which will also impact your own performance in the game. Alright, so I think that's all that I want to talk about Delta Force. I think this game also have another name. I think I need to check it out because I don't really remember that. So no, it's released only Delta Force. I haven't tried any other resolutions because since I updated the Nvidia drivers to the new application, custom resolutions are not possible for now. So I'm stuck with 1080p, so I'm sorry for that. So that's all, guys. Thank you a lot for watching. Hope you did enjoy the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Thanks, brother. Drop. The enemy is attacking one of our objectives.